Hello there, my name is Rocco, and today we will discuss Freemasonry. I was indulging in a Facebook group that I'm part of in Italian. It's called Esotericism Teachings of All Time, which the title I'm translating into Italian, but so you can't find it under that name literally. But not publicizing it. But the idea to speak of Freemasonry came to me today after being on that group. And when we think of Freemasonry, we think of people that come together and do magic in a group. So it's group magic, that's the synonym of Freemasonry. The image is the brick that tied with the spiritual matter to another brick finally builds a home. So an identity looked for through the idea of one helping another theory to join forces together to reach a common aim, Freemasonry. So the Mason is at the same time building a home and at the same time free. So it's the rebel part of it. The rebel part of it is that the Freemason lives in the idea that he's free from the serious of studying and applying one single system of thought, whether it is white magic, black magic, or magic in general, or spirituality, or the quest for something important. So if we believe that we are in some type of renegade quest for something important, I'm laughing because I'm recalling a TV show that I used to watch when I was a kid in Italy, which was named Tiger Man, and it's about this man that transforms itself. I'm translating the song of the show for kids that they used to do, and a man that transforms itself in a missile with the strength of I don't know what, and then he's the best of the best, and then not even the child believes it in the end, but it's something fun to watch. So when one is tired, one can watch another channel and another program. So going back to spirituality, Freemasons are this group of people worldwide that have joined forces to separate themselves from other types of religions and organizations, to pretty much read a little bit of everything. And if you read the manifesto of the Grand Orient of Italy, all the requested is that you believe in the Supreme Being, or they say a Supreme Being. So basically they need to believe in God, but they don't call it with his name, which is morally acceptable, I guess, because you can pretty well see that we're referring to him. But if you know that God is God already, why need you be in an organization that literally is taking you away from that knowledge and giving you the illusion to get back the knowledge that it has taken away from you, you already know that the Supreme Being is God. Why need you research and study to know this, to know who this being is, when the information that you need about this Supreme Being, as you rightfully define, was given to you already by institutions that were wanted by the Supreme Being, that you verbally try to summon to your life. So Freemasons adopt. When I'm speaking about Freemasonry, I'm not speaking about some para-Masonic organizations like the Golden Dawn or the Church of Satan or the White Brotherhood or all these places that, some of them you want to go, some of them you better avoid. Nevertheless, they all share the same quench for spirituality that man strives for, although some of them got cheated on by the devil or got robbed or got deceived and ended up, if the spiritual path was for them in their life, sometimes it wasn't. Say Antalabay, to me, what the angel said to me, he was just meant to be a piano player. He wasn't a spiritual person in that incarnation, as came out pretty obvious if you read his books, which you don't want to read at the same time, but if you read them. So I won't mention for too long these other organizations that seem to be close to Freemasonry, but aren't Freemasonry. Freemasonry is, again, those people that got together at some point in history and decided that all they wanted to do is to rebel against the status quo to form another status quo. The only way they managed to think that this was going to be possible was, at first, via the help of God, later by the help of Satan, eventually now with the help of both. So they think that no matter what symbol you use, every symbol wields power. So they don't know the negative effects on playing with black magic, and they don't know the negative effects of a lot of the Egyptian magic and a lot of the improper use of esotericism that sometimes is blatant among Freemasons. And the Freemasons have great power when they manifest and when they cast effective magic, just like all of us do. But on top of that, they are in groups, so it augments the power of something positive. For if it's positive, it'll be for everyone, and this is something that God comes to makes pass. If not, it won't pass. So it's something that, having spoken to Satan in the past when I was on another path, which was going to lead me to my current and everlasting path of white magic, he and if you read a lot of, you don't want to read a lot of so-called left-hand literature if you want to dignify these people with the name of being able to produce a literature or following an actual path. But I think they were just being misled. But he always said to me that a lot of the ideas that he's not, like Satan doesn't like Freemasonry because they're not consistent. At the same time, God doesn't like Freemasonry because they're not consistent. When I say consistent, I mean that an angel feels betrayed to aid an organization which calls the devil, and the devil may not feel betrayed but doesn't feel he's doing a good job working somewhere where people always hold on to the divine in some way. So it's something that is despised by, not that the devil counts anything as his opinion, or when I read about, people interviewed during an exorcism reveals his secrets or things like that, I get skeptical about how much worth you can give to something that the devil says. You may know the devil through God and ask him ways to repel him. So, Freemasonry is quite unliked or considered uninteresting by both angels and demons accordingly for what had been or was my experience. So don't fall into the trap that Freemasonry is spiritual. And if it's not spiritual, it doesn't have all the spiritual power that by fear people infer that it does have. So it does have material power either in the opinion and in the point of view of God, the Creator. So according to life, that doesn't mean that people don't have the right to be Freemason, or that they don't have the right to sin, or that don't have the right to fall. People do have the right to do anything. Some of them might be called to be Freemasons in order to reveal these secrets, in quotes, and expose some truths that, like with Scientology and brainwashing and stuff. But in other cases, I don't agree with the fact that the Freemasons are at every governmental place worldwide, like Bush or Queen Elizabeth or all of these Berlusconi, all these people of the world that ever have power. They were at least once part of Freemasonry. I don't think there's enough Freemason lodges to host, say in Rome, it's 4 million people. At least it's gonna be 100,000 people that, have this power. I don't think there's enough room for all, because they all always, when you pass a Freemason lodge, it's gonna be written, outside that it's a Freemasonic lodge. Now in Italy, they publish the names of them and they easily admit it. It's not that secret. There can be a lot of respectful people in Freemasonry, just like Carla LaVey says in the documentary of the Church Satan, that there's a lot of doctors and respectable people, lawyers that entered before he died, and when he died, he saw Archangel Gabriel, which told him that he wasted his life and he was going to go to heaven. He wasn't going to like it. That despite what was written in another interview, and but still, she said they turn into completely different people when they go to the black masses that they celebrate, and at the same time, there can be a lot of, but at least she admitted it. What with Freemasons is that they don't admit it, that they're actually working for something that is not ultimately right. And it's not ultimately right because we know that Jesus is Lord and God is our Creator, and that white magic can be employed to the help and for the help of the state and of liberty. But we also refrain from using other types of magic, and we refrain from stopping some propaganda of fear that has been put forward unjustly towards Freemasons, depicting them as, I don't know, child eaters or child molesters, or people that burn buildings, kill people, or control the world in a way that's so fearful and scary, which is not. So in this sense, they're victims. They're being played with, and they should not, because some of them are actually holy in their lives, and some of them might not go to certain services that are not holy. Some of them really study a lot. Some of them find out a lot of truths about the esoteric. So some of them can be respected as people, but not as Freemasons. So in this sense, we can avoid contact with them, and for God, we must know that we must pray for them. So, O God, O Archangel Raphael, or O Archangel Raziel, and all the exorcist angels, and by the power of the veiled fairy and the fairy of mysteries, and all the beautiful fairies that keep enchanted secrets. May these people know the power of the freedom that comes from having chose the sword of Saint Michael that is passing through them right now. Amen. And may they accept this as it has happened already, and may they be freed in God's name. We pray that they go close to God, and they, if called by Him to do so, they continue their esoteric studies in ways that are more pleasing to the light beings that surround us. Amen. So, Archangel Raziel says that my energy is very high right now. Jesus was telling Mary that a dear person of mine, my dearest person, was doing something, and right now Archangel Raphael says that some of you will receive great bliss tomorrow. He actually said something too, but I'm afraid that's too personal. But it was something about me being able to heal you. So starting over, when you are surrounded by light, you emanate light, and you bring back to the source of power. That's that. When you employ gossip to gain power, that's when you don't have power for real. This is because the age of Aquarius knows a lot of false prophets and knows a lot of people that will come out and they will say their truth, but that won't be the truth. There will be spiritual masters and teachers. Some of them will be okay, some of them will not. But Freemasonry has the power to turn your life from the security of having found God to the illusion that you have to research to find Him. That's why the Catholic Church sometimes in the so-called freedom prayers or prayers of liberation says that we break all chains with every Masonic lodge or organization, not because we are afraid of them or we don't respect them, but because we only respect truly people who are in integrity. So we love and respect their own true self, but we don't honor who they falsely believe in. And this woman, for example, believed in this forum that we talk about esotericism. They were commenting le diable. Qu'est-ce que c'est le diable en français? In English, le diable in French. The devil is a commenting on a famous tarot deck, which I can't remember the name of. They were saying that the devil card is just a step of the initiative towards enlightenment, the initiative that's looking for truth. Now that's not true, because when we look for God, we don't need to pass through sin to become an initiate, right? If we are an initiate, we're initiated, and we cannot commit sin. When we are talking of God, we can't talk of Satan at the same time. The two beings are opposite. There is God and then there's the ones who are not with God, and those do not represent a power or opposite power, but they represent delusion. True happiness only comes from God. When I was with Satan, I'm not trying to do something that was done before, but when I was with Satan, I was at peace and I wasn't happy. I have tried Satan, but I was hugely disappointed because I was going to solve all my problems, but he gave me problems that I could not resolve. And he put me through so much literal hell that I can't speak of now because he wouldn't believe me. And he gave me all these illusions that you can't imagine. And again, when there was the last time that I talked to him, he, just like the Freemasons do, I summoned him with the names of God. That is in itself a sin, but it not the biggest sin that I had committed in that year or two that I was with Satan. And Satan said, "It's true that I'm defeated. I was defeated by God and Archangel Michael, and I'm fallen. And everything that I've told Rocco since I've met him is a lie. And you can tell yourself that that's not true. That he's actually something different. That he's a motivator. That he's an incentive for growth. That he is a something that will make you feel better. In truth, fever is sickness, and that sickness is plague. And the plague kills now. When I'm naming the plague, thinking of the movie Nosferatu about the vampire that was shot in the Netherlands in the 1970s, and they were having a dinner right outside, having dinner outside, and the table is infested with rats because the whole city has, contracted the, just like when Miranda's assistant in The Devil Wears Prada sneezes, and she asks for antibacterial wipes because, the secretary is called the Bonnie Plague, she says. And it's the same thing in that scene of the movie Nosferatu, there's the plague in town, and people are dying, and then rats everywhere. That's the realm of Satan, and that's, it's a lure to some. I have an Italian friend, I call him Frank because I met him somewhere else. I haven't met him for, like, when I was helping him, and we started talking at a restaurant, and I talked to him, and I discovered that he had had psychiatric problems in the past, which truly, and I'm being honest, it gave me that sense of wisdom, because crazy people really do understand a lot. So I said to myself, I have a lot to learn. But in some aspects he was wise, and then after a few days he's made a big mistake. He was desperate, and he told me that he gave some of his blood to Lucifer because he was desperate. So I gave him a remedy. I don't know what he was looking for, really, but he possibly, and Satan is like that, just like with Marilyn Manson. I don't blame Marilyn Manson for the tragedies that have occurred, like Paulina Columbine and so on and so forth. But at the same time, it is true that he embodies, not incarnates, but embodies an archetype, the archetype of the devil. That, just like what he says, and the fact that he did way back with the devil and other, memorabilia, that he somehow, despite the difficult childhood, he could have chosen things in life with a greater intelligence and less pain for him and more pleasure, with the possibility to meet love, to money, to meet success, and to meet the true things that God can give you, and then when passed on by Satan, lead you to death or unsatisfaction, or at least to a lesser satisfaction than the one provided by God de facto. So uncontrollable practice and uncontrollable law, just like Satan cannot controvert the power of God and could not and will not. Amen. So you have to wonder, how many lifetimes you want to spend in a quest for truths. And, make 33 degrees. Some say you honored Jesus Christ, 33 years. Some says you honored 33 different energy centers in the human body. Some says Some say he he's the devil. He uses every symbol to corrupt you. So God does not use a symbol. God is God. God is Him already. Has symbols which he can use, but these symbols are reversible with the truth that is. The devil's symbols invite into a truth and then end up giving another. So they call for, say, lust and end up giving HIV, or simply unhappiness, or they call for love and they end up giving death, or they call for money and end up, giving the renunciation of a spiritual life, and so on. So whatever the devil calls you up to do, it might be even a small trick like wait until tomorrow. But God tells you already today to know the spiritual truths that were given, and that some truths you can cut off because they're lies and they make you waste time because you don't have the courage. So going back to Freemasonry, it's a very subtle confusion that they have in mind, the people that comment on the topic. And it seemed like, again, from Rihanna to Lady Gaga to all these people would be Freemasons, and these people go to dinner at night, savor, I don't know, children's brains and soups with eyes of, I don't know, they make the most terrific and wholesome dinners, and they have the greatest of fun. I think, again, I don't doubt that possibly Lady Gaga I'm pretty sure that she's done a couple of maybe voodoo rituals and something with other pagan gods for sure. I don't think she's touched demons, but again, these entities are demons in some ways, but she didn't touch demons with the intention to touch them. That was rational and conscious. So I wouldn't say that she's holy because just because for the song that she sang for Judas, which I hope is Judas Thaddeus, but I think not. And we pray that these people find what is best for their soul someday when they're ready, so they can make more money and be more successful and be better still at what they do, because they truly are great entertainers and people that you shouldn't be afraid of, people that should be a role model or a reference for others, or at least should be neutral and not harm anyone. So let's leave this climate of fear and the world controlled, by evil, because the world is controlled by love. And the Freemasons are but one and of the organizations that display and employ display, to the outside, something that's already outside, and employ something that is truly not their own. So display and employ, this gives you the sense that One of their tactics is that they make you think that they know. They make you think that they know. They make you think that they know. Make you think that they know. Some of them may know. I mean, there's beautiful angelic invocations performed at magnificent temples of truth, and these temples, these angels shine brightly, and you can vividly see them. Other Freemasons employ sonic magic, and they ask. I've watched one of these ceremonies when I was a Satanist, just shortly before going back to God, and Satan do it, which I was quite thankful for, because he always puts all these limits and weights on, so I was glad that I could. But the ceremony itself was so composed that they vibrated the names of archangels in this Masonic lodge, the four, Archangel Uriel, and so on, Raphael, Gabriel, and Michael, and then, please, they said, assist us to evoke such demon, so that such demon may grant knowledge. So no angel appeared, and then no knowledge was given. So is this power or is this stupidity? Some Freemasons are undoubtedly stupid in their development of rituals, and their in how they approach the esoteric, because angels won't assist in truth a human during a black ceremony. They won't. At the same time, the Satanists won't call an angel for a satanic ritual, and the wiser white magician won't call a demon to give him knowledge that God can give in a better way, like this Archangel Castiel, the angel of Saturn, that gives an example, knowledge. Or the guardian angel of Aquarius, some Aquarius borns have that guardian angel who can be invoked, Manakyle, Manakel, and these angels, as an example, be called for knowledge. You don't need to call upon a demon. So they employ, again, they like the myths. They don't go beyond a certain limit, and some of them are more angelic, some of them might be more demonic. They are not here to eliminate us, control us, or make so that the whole, all society worships Lucifer as a whole. I don't think that's their true aim. Indirectly, Freemasons end up contributing towards plagues and diseases by controlling some energy centers that are located around the world. So is this a lie or is this truth? It's a lie, because they're aware of these energy centers, which God does not give to people who cannot employ them. And God can read your future, because God is clairvoyant. So God can read your future. Can God know the future? Yes. So God can. A lot of nuns would pursue their future by saints or angels, by devoting themselves to the church. They could see their future there. Is that a sin that you see your future somewhere? And that's true. So they've seen the future laying ahead of them, and Freemasons are to believe in what they're said, just like in the military. This is not a preconcept of liberation or of quest or of truth. The Templars weren't properly Freemason, but they were a Freemasonic lodge of some type, even though with a different name. And they searched for the truth of being liberated by the oppression. At first it wasn't clear what this oppression was, and then the oppression became Christ, so they renounced Christ. They didn't renounce anything else but him. And this came with curses, and came with the disappearance of the order, or the change and introduction of new people in it, to the point where it is now. So it's comical out in the third time in a row when I do these videos. My client Laura writes to me, she's got a lot to say to the world. I think that she somebody who has a lot of opinions that she wants to share with the world, because that's the only client who ever writes to me lately when I'm doing these videos, because I do them different times. So Freemasonry isn't for the elected, but Freemasonry is for the ignorant and the ones who are against God in a way or another. So Freemasonry should be in some way changed or in some way eliminated, and not eliminate the people who are in Freemasonry, but make them change their mind and become closer to God, while at the same time renouncing their affiliation with Freemasonry. Their evolution should be incorporated in some type of other spiritual institution which only does white magic and divine magic, and they should be blessed when they realize that they're making a mistake and make the change that is necessary. At the same time, we believe in the power of God, and we believe in the power of physical presidents and governments around the world. Whether they're Freemasons or not, we respect them the same way, but we hope that if they're Freemasons and if they do rituals that are not for the best good of everyone, in truth, then they are not doing it anymore in the future, and we hope that they're blessed if they're Freemasons and they're doing things that are good for us. And we hope that Freemasonry sometime will change and will improve, and that will get better, and will be able to be blessed by God for the choices that it makes. So God bless you, and as always, I'll pray for you, and you can know more about this and other topics if you write to my email esotericservices.america@gmail.com. So I want to thank you, and I hope that you will stay in touch and subscribe to the channel and share it with friends. So God bless you. Goodbye.